There are 7 specific words and phrases that trigger in a woman's brain emotion, attraction. And in this video, I'm breaking down all 7. When used the right way, you will cause excitement, attraction. I don't care if you meet her online, in person, etc. She will be drawn to you. So number 1, and use these wisely. Number 1 is, I have an idea. This is in the early stage of attraction, when you just get the number, you meet her in person, you're texting her, you meet her online, you're texting her, and you want to set up the first, second, or third date. This is an exciting time. This is when you can stand out amongst all the other men in her DMs. Because all the other men are saying, do you want to grab coffee with me? Do you want to go out to dinner and have a dinner date? You need to separate, create that emotional spark. So what you want to do is, instead of asking a woman out, you say, I have an idea. What is she gonna do? What is it? What's your idea? Let's hear it, right? Intrigue. What are you gonna say? She has no idea. And that emotional spike of uncertainty and curiosity equals attraction for women. Women are not the same as men. If someone said to me, I have an idea, I'd be like, bro, just tell me, right? We don't care. We're logical, we're rational. Women want this. They want that emotional spike. They want that curiosity. And when you say, I have an idea, and then you go into making plans, it's much more engaging. It's much more interesting. Number 2, maybe. Now, I love saying this word to women because it completely fucks with them in the perfect way. Now, you can use this, you can use a maybe. And by the way, tonality matters, right? You wouldn't just say, oh, well, maybe. No, you say like maybe. You see the difference? I'm just stating it. I'm not saying it as a weak position, I'm saying it as a position of strength. When you would use maybe perfectly is when they want you to do something, or they're expecting something, right? Maybe you already hung out with them and they want to be taken someplace, or they just want you to do something of literally any kind. You just say maybe, and they're like, maybe? What do you mean maybe? Like it completely causes this emotional combustion in their mind of why isn't it yes? What do I have to do? Blah, blah, blah. And it inspires them to take more action to earn the yes. If you're a yes man to everything, you are shooting yourself in the head. Women are repulsed by easiness. They see easiness and agreeability as not desirable. They don't see it as being attractive. They see it as a guy that has no options and has to say yes to everything just to maintain them, which by default, very unattractive to a woman. The second word, the third phrase, I'm busy. This is really good because it cuts off their look into your life. Like for example, she calls you and you don't want to talk to her, or you're just playing the game. Hit her with a text, be like, hey, I'm busy. It's perfect because you're not explaining what the hell you're doing. And that's the key, right? Let's say you're working. You don't want to deny the call and be like, hey baby, I'm at my desk working, I'm writing up this email, I'll call you in a few. No. Women will say they want these communication and all this nonsense. You don't do that. And you don't do that because you need to hit the emotional spike of not knowing everything, of being curious, of having intrigue. And you do that by leaving them in the dark and saying, I'm busy. They will immediately, their brain will go to all areas of the room. Like, what's he busy doing? Is he with the girl? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? What's he doing? And now their mind is racing about you. Anytime you can get a woman to think about you more, you win. She likes you more. Good or bad, doesn't matter. As long as you're on her mind, she likes you more. When you say, I'm busy, with zero explanation, now she is literally scrambling, thinking about what the hell you could be doing. You're running through her mind. You go into her train of thought. You win. Number 4, number 5, one of these. I got them listed out. I just went in different order. Good job or good girl. This works really, really well. And the reason this works so well is because when you compliment them in a way that you're telling them I approve of you, that immediately reinforces my frame that I am better than you. That's like what a coach says to a player or a parent to a child, right? Good job, good girl. That immediately shows this dynamic, which is what you need and what they want. They don't want equality. And when you go, you're so beautiful, you did such an amazing job, like that. You need to be this way. And you reinforce that by saying affirmatives that are used when the dynamic is this in any scenario, right? Good job is literally coach to player. Good job. Way to go. It should be the same dynamic. It should not be pedestal compliments. It should be, I approve. I approve. Good job. That is strong. Very strong. Do this when they do something for you. Do this when they affirm good behavior, right? Like for an example, let's say she was very punctual on the date. And women are so unreliable, so punctual, even being punctual is like a fucking accomplishment to them, even though it shouldn't be. Let's say she was punctual on the date. You'd be like, good job. You're right on time. That's great. Good girl. Pat her on the head. That's exactly what you do. Attraction skyrockets. Skyrockets. You think I'm kidding. I am not kidding. They love that shit. They respond to that so well. The next word, no. I love this word for women. Okay, I love telling women no. Love it. Especially if you've met her and she likes you. Bro. You don't want to abuse the word no before you guys have hung out and before you've, got her in your web of attraction. Because when they're in your web of attraction, that's when they respond super well to this sort of verbiage dynamic. You tell her no, right? She's like, can we please, I don't know. If she was like, can we please, go to this place? No. Why not? Right? They immediately start like hyperventilating and try to prove themselves to you, which is the perfect dynamic. Fantastic. More of that, please. No. More. It's fantastic. Because then that creates their drive for effort. That creates the behavior from the emotional reaction in their mind because I said no, right? My words are the external stimuli. Their brain is the internal perceptive reality that causes behavior. This is psychology. External stimuli, no. Internal dialogue, what the hell? Behavior, right? Internal dialogue, why the hell? I want them to say yes. Then external behavior becomes a lot of effort, trying to persuade you, trying to be cute, trying to do all these things to get the yes. But if you're just saying yes, why would you even have her be interested in you? She's not going to have any behavior to change the outcome. She's just going to try less and less and less. When you tell a woman no, they try more and more and more. And you want a woman to try. You want effort. You want that dynamic of them putting in time and effort to get the yes. That's the whole pursuit. That's the whole dynamic shift. And you kill that when you're a yes man. I said that about the maybe. But the maybe can be differently used than the no. The no, I'm telling you, the no works so well. Number 6. You didn't strike me as this type of girl. This is very powerful psychology 101. And you can pull this out of the bag when they do something that is out of line or anything you don't particularly love. And you want to use this to basically reverse psychology them into changing behavior. You have to understand with women, if they do something you don't like, you can't sit them down and logically tell them why and how to change, etc. They're a woman. They are not a man. You have to play with their emotions. You have to play with their psychology. You have to trigger their mind in different ways and poke around the problem to eventually lead them to the girl you want them to be, the woman that you want them to be. And when you hit them with this would be used on something that isn't a deal breaker, but it's still not good behavior. Is like, you didn't strike me as that type of girl. And this works so well because women think with a herd mentality, okay? They don't think very independently. They think very comparatively, right? They're always comparing themselves to other women. They're always going to be mentally comparing themselves when they walk down the street to other women or other women that we've been with as men or our exes. They're literally always thinking about other women. They're constantly in like this competitive mode. And when you place them in a bucket of they're now like a woman that you don't like, it hits them way harder and it induces a change of behavior way more than why would you do that? I don't like when you do that. Like, I'm not exaggerating by a billion. The same verbiage, right? I don't like when you do that. You didn't strike me as that type of girl. It's the same verbiage, right? I'm disappointed. You shouldn't have done that. I don't like that behavior. But one of them strikes an emotional chord like you wouldn't believe. And then you take away your attention, they're spiraling, they'll change. The last one, you're going to be a problem. Now this is a really good one in the beginning. This is a really good one in the beginning when you want to give a backhanded type of validation that is not validation, right? Most guys don't know how to create sexual tension, attraction, none of that. So they'll be like, you're so beautiful, oh, I love your values, blah, blah, blah. Dumb shit. It's very unexciting, it's very boring. You're here and they need to be here. Describing them as a negative that is rhetorically a good thing, right? Like, you're going to be a problem. Technically a problem is a negative, but they all know it's this banter of a compliment. Gives them this. Because you're saying something negative that's positive. It's a conundrum by default. And when you talk in conundrums and when you talk in contradictories to women, they love it. Why? Because they don't make any sense themselves. They're emotional. The last thing you want to do is just be here. You are so beautiful, so I'm calling you so beautiful. Wrong. I like you so much, and I'm going to say I like you so much. Disgusting. You like her, so you call her a fucking problem. Do you understand? This is the game. You're falling for a girl, you call her a problem because it doesn't make any sense, because it puts her on her toes, because now she's thinking, because now she's excited, because she wants to be called a problem. Women don't want to be gassed up. They say they do, but they don't. Try it and see their behavior. Try it. Like your girl, take her out, call her beautiful. See how she reacts. I dare you. Or take her out, having a good time. Say you're gonna be a problem, aren't you? See how she reacts. Try it. Because this is the epitome of female nature and female psychology. All of the words and phrases that I've mentioned are to trigger an emotional response that is not linear. That is the whole point. We must treat them like the up and down roller coaster that they are, because they're very emotional and very volatile. When you speak linearly and directly outside of let's go out, but in this case, it doesn't work because there's no emotional chord being struck. And so there's no attraction. Attraction is derived from an emotional stimulant in a woman's physiology. And so all of these words and phrases induce an emotional trigger to try, to change, to pursue you, to chase you. Because the foundation of all of them is, I'm in charge of you, change, not good. You are the determinant of their behavior. They love that. They should not be able to determine if they have good behavior. That is your job as the man. And all these things, no, I'm busy. I have an idea, maybe. They're all coming from a place of frame, and they're all coming from a place of, I determine how you should behave. I am indirectly guiding you and training you into how you should behave, which is all they want. They don't want to use their brains. And the key to this is how you say it and how you act and how you move. That's why I made the Unreadable Man Protocol, 20 pages, 3 video modules on exactly how to be a man women chase. And if you want one-on-one assistance, the application link for my one-on-one coaching is below. I'll see you in the next video.